Yeah, I will go directly to the introduction because you might be wondering why do we have like a Vue person here in Angular community in Vienna. Well, first, so let me just say a few words about myself. My name is Elise Patrikainen. I am a front-end architect, and also I'm a front-end lead. Depends on the client. As I mentioned, mostly on the Vue ecosystem. I work for several different clients. Currently, a company called We Say, which is in the Finnish area. I used to work for NextLab. Maybe I remove that one. That would be better. I used to work for NextLab. For those who know the Vue ecosystem, you might have heard about it. I used to work for Accor, well, different things. And also I'm a co-organizer of the meetup Vue.js Paris. And so, yeah, why am I here? Because I happened to be, on one part, Angular enthusiast. I used to do some Angular before, but maybe 5 years before. It was before the Angular Renaissance. And since then, I followed, since the Angular Renaissance, I really followed closely what was happening because I really like the new API. And yeah, I found that what the Angular community is doing is super interesting. And also, I am a big fan of asynchronous data management solutions. I had the chance to be able to speak at a conference, Vue.js Amsterdam, in 2024, more than 1 year ago, about server-state management. So it was mostly about TanStack. Who knows about TanStack query here? Okay. And also, that one you will probably not know, I spoke about Pina Colada, not the cocktail, but a library that we have in the Vue ecosystem at Vue Germany in a bit more than 1 year ago at Vue Germany. And that's where I had the pleasure to meet Michael and all the Pushbase friends. So yeah, it was a good time. And in Angular, there is something which triggered me. That's a very cool feature that you have, which is the resource API. I remember the day when I learned about the resource API. It was there in Graz. That's a shame that Manfred is not here today because, yeah, that was at his meetup 1 year ago. And that was Alex talk. And yeah, he spoke about the resource API. And I was like, wow, this looks so cool. Like in Vue, for example, we don't have such an API natively inside the framework. We have things, but it's not native. So yeah, I was very enthusiastic about that. And I was really wondering what we could do if we tried to push it a bit further. So yeah, that's actually the goal of today. I would like to show you some ideas that I had if we try to use the resource API in a bit, how to say, leverage way in comparison with the standard API. So, table of content. First, there will be a short introduction on the resource API. Who is comfortable here with the resource API? Okay, maybe 1/4 of the people. And what do you think, by the way, about the resource API? I'm curious. Do you like it or who doesn't care? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Are you sure the sound is fine? I feel it's a bit, it's not perfect, right? Maybe I don't want you to be uncomfortable with that. Okay, so I will try to make you convinced that the resource API is cool, it's a cool thing. And then I will try to see how we can do stuff, cool stuff with that, do some caching, SWR, maybe some prefetching and optimistic update if we have time. So, a short introduction about the resource API. Well, if you, how to say, so the resource API is a function. For me, there are two really key takes away from the resource API. The first one is that it's a function which natively helps to handle asynchronous states. So basically, maybe I take a bit more time because I see that not so many people are familiar with it. Here, we are inside the component, right? And we have this resource function. Maybe do you have a pointer? or maybe I can just move. I will just move like this. So here we have this resource function, right? And this resource function, we pass as a parameter a loader, which is this fetch item. This loader is promise based. So that's just a function which will return a promise. And the job of this function here will be to return what we call a resource. The resource will be this items, okay? And what is interesting with this resource is that it has lots of information. The first set of information is about asynchronous states. So we can see here that this resource, items, will provide the value. It will, once the value will be resolved, like we get the data from, oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. Once we get data from our server, for example, we will get here this property value, which is a signal. It will be completed, and we will be able to use it. At the same time, we will have also loading states, and we will have also many other states, such as error state, like plenty of things. So the idea is that thanks to the resource API, we can really completely natively and very easily handle these different kind of states. We don't have like to subscribe or to do things like this. So that's the first really important point. The second point is that it can also reactively refetch on signals params. So here, as you can see, we added one more param into this resource. So we have here the loader that we had before, right? And then here we added this param, which is a signal. And this signal can be, for example, that's the let's say we are searching for items, and here we have a specific parameter, which is a filter, which would be the item category. So let's say, okay, when I have all, I want to fetch something, and when this signal changes, then automatically the resource API will see, okay, my signal has changed, the category has changed, and then, okay, I will just reload my resource based on that new category. Is it clear? So yeah, that's the second very important point, is that resources are reactive. And yeah, so we can really, based on signals, we can have a kind of watch it computed value with big, how to say, it's not a computed, of course, because it's not, how to say, it's not a pure function. But yeah, we have this derivative value based on signal. So that's also the second very important key point. So for us today, we will not really use that. We will rather use the first point, which is handling the asynchronous states. But we could also use the second point as well, but we would need a bit more time and go a bit deeper into the examples, I would say. Okay. So let's see now how we could maybe try to do things with that, like so cool things with the this API. And yeah, I wanted to do some live coding, but then I thought that will be too dangerous because I am absolutely not used to do Angular on a regular basis. And by the way, I could build quite quickly an application in Angular with the new API, and I really enjoyed it as well as the new, well, not really new, but the new syntax. And yeah, that was a real pleasure. So yeah, I will not do live coding. I will just like show you what I found that could be doable in a reasonable time with this resource API. But let's speak about our use case. So I needed an example for this presentation, and I was thinking, have you ever been to the push-based website? I don't know, just asking. No, nobody? Well, that's a really cool website. It's a very corporate website, very nice. I mean, it's perfect. But knowing people from push-based, I was like, there is something missing. Like, you know, at push-based, there is this vibe, this kind of cool, I don't know how to say, coolness. And also, Michael is a man of taste, you know, he's refined and he likes like lifestyle stuff and so on. And I found that the website doesn't really convey that. It's like, yeah, something missing. So I have a proposition for you. I built a new page for your website, which is called the push-based lifestyle shop. Let me just refine it. Maybe I should also do that. Let me show you that. Here is it. What do you think? Thank you. So that would be like to do a consulting in addition to your performance and stuff consulting. Like maybe you could also add a glimpse of lifestyle consulting. I'm pretty sure that would really add some value to your proposition, to your proposal. And it is Michael approved. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, right? So this, of course, you have shirts and then stuff like travel, drinks, and so on. So yeah. I'm pretty happy with that, and all that built in Angular quite quickly. So it was a pleasure to do it. And so this website is built with the resource API, and I try to make things, since it's push based, right? We want to be like performance first. I try to make it cool. So the first thing that we know with the resource API is that we don't really have cache with it, right? Which means that if I change page, if I like, for example, if I just use the resource API normally, if I go to that page and then I come back, then I would have all this, which is reloaded and with a loading state appearing. Here, as you can see, it's not the case. That's because I added some cache. And that was really easy to do. Oh, sorry. That was extremely easy to do. Can I ask you just like what time it is? I completely forgot to check it. Enough time? I don't want like to be too much. Okay. Well, so the first thing, as I mentioned, we would like to add some cache. So let me just introduce you to this component, which is the home component. So that's the component which takes all the data and displays all the items, like the lifestyle items that Michael likes. So sorry, it's like a poor Angular code, I know, because I am very novice in that. Don't pay attention to the implementation. That the idea is more how we can use the resource API to do stuff. So first thing that we can do is sorry. I'm getting there. As I mentioned, I will first show you. I will be there. Yeah. Sorry? Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. New appearance. Zoom in. Maybe like this, I can close that. Is it good like this, or maybe more, a bit bigger? Okay. It's good? Okay, great. So the first important thing is the resource in itself. So that's here. That's this. Well, I called it cards, but maybe cards is not it. Items would have been better. So this is the resource. And so basically, we would have the same thing as I showed on the slide before, a loader, so a function which fetches the data and just gives it to the resource. Here, as I mentioned, we want to add some cache. And you will see that's quite easy. There is just one thing. For adding some cache, we need, since we want to have this cache between pages, right? When we change page, we want to keep the cache. So we need to have this cache on the application state, right? On the global state of the application. So for that, I built a very, very, very small. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just like appropriating the scene. So for that, I built a tiny store with this utility cache state, which I found very, very convenient. I think that might be not the good way to do it in the SSR, but let's just say that we are in a SPI context, right? So here it is. I have this very little store in which I will just save the data that I fetch with my resource API. Okay, so that's a very simple thing. I have this cache property, and then in this cache property, I will, on one side, I will have an object with a key, the URL of the resource, and then the values. So if I come back here, let's just not take care about that. So what we want to do is it just like to keep some cache. Maybe I should go for live coding, actually. That would have been better, I think. Yeah, because it's not really clear like this. Okay, let's get crazy, and I will live code this. I think that will be clearer than what I first wanted to do. Okay, so we have this loader, right? First implementation, maybe I will not do the full demo, but I think that will be clearer if I show less and that I do it on a live code. I count on all the Angular experts here to help me if I have issues, right? Okay, so the first thing is that initially here, if we just have the basic implementation of the resource API, we would return this function, this.fetch data. So that's the function which fetches the data, right? And here we have like a very simple implementation of the resource API. So normally we should not have cache here. Okay, first issue. So I guess, yeah, that's a typing issue. But whatever, we don't really need to see the result. What I want to convey is the how to say, let's just not get attached to the implementation. So as unless someone can help me on that. Sorry. Wait. Yeah. I think it's. Oh yeah, I'm not sure because then I still need to return something, right? Const result. Maybe I think it's a typing problem, and then we return the result. Okay. Let's see, it's still not working. Oh, nice. Great, thank you. Okay, so if I come back here, then, oh, I still have cache. How is that possible? I should not have, actually. Oh, yeah, because, well, let's just pretend there is no cache. Normally, there shouldn't be cache here. So if I want to add some cache here, then what I need to do is to say, okay, inside my loading function, and that's the important point, inside my loading function, I have to say, okay, if I already have this data in my store, like my global store, I will get it from the global store, right? And then if I don't have it, I will fetch it. And this logic, we can easily implement it here. I am really annoyed because it was working very well, like many times when I did it, and I don't know why cache is working now. And or maybe I should reload completely the app. Just let me try something, and otherwise, well, maybe that's yeah, live coding is too challenging. I think. Oh yeah, that's the reason why I have like this error, and then my it didn't compile correctly, and so it didn't update it. So yeah, that's the reason why. So let's just pretend, like, I don't want to waste too much time with that. Let's just pretend we don't have cache here. And what I want to show you is the beauty of adding it with the resource API, because it's so easy. So what we have here, as I mentioned, what we were seeing is that, okay, in my loader, either I do have the data somewhere in the state, either I don't have it. If I don't have it, I just load it normally. If I have it, then I will just fetch it in the state and then give it back. So I just need to add one little condition, which is that one. If cache state, so that's my store, right? Cache state dot cache, and then then I need the URL. So the this .api URL. That's it. Yes, thank you. This .api URL. Okay. If I have it, if I have something here, then I will return this value. Let's do it maybe like this. Const cached value is this, right? Like, if cached value, then return the cached value, right? And otherwise, we will just return. Well, we can leave it like this. So that's the beauty of this. Like, we can add caching very easily just with these 3 lines of code. And that's pretty cool. I'm really annoyed that I cannot show you because of this compiling problem. Like in Vue, we don't have that. Like the Vue compiler, it just said, okay, there are some TypeScript errors, but I don't care. Like, just go on. Okay, but it doesn't matter. So that's the first thing. That's just adding some cache. But then when we add some cache, that's great. But sometimes we want to re-update the data, right? For example, if we have like some caching on, I don't know, products, that's what I wanted to. I will show you at the end when things are working. If we have like an e-commerce website, we want like to make sure that things are still available and so on. Maybe we want to revalidate this cache, right? So we can easily add something more, like we can add another algorithm, which is, okay, I will save the time when I fetch this data, and I will check each time I reuse this cache data. I will just check, okay, is it like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago? If it is 10 minutes ago, then I refetch. Otherwise, I will not refetch. So for that, it's really easy. All that we have to do is to add a bit more information in the cache state that we have here. So actually, it's already done. Here in the cache state, I will not just keep the value. I will also keep a timestamp, which shows when I fetch the value, right? And then I will just here in my condition, I will just check, okay, do I have this timestamp? I have this timestamp. Is it too old? Okay, I refetch. It's not too old. I do not refetch. So that's exactly what has been done here, but I will just redo it. So cache value, if I have cache value, then I will check. I'm so sorry that I cannot show you on live because of this compilation error. That was the reason why I was really afraid of live coding. I knew that there would be something wrong. So if I have the cache value, then I need to check if the value is still valid or if it is stale. Okay, so let's do it. Const is value valid. Up. And for that, what I will do, I will just take it back this. I will check the time now minus the timestamp that I have on the cache value, and I will check if it is more or less than what I decided. For example, like it could be, I don't know, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. And then if the value is still valid, we will just return the cache value, right? And otherwise, we just go back on the normal flow, which is refetching the data. So I want to draw your attention on the fact that here in 7 lines of code, we implemented caching, but also caching with stale, like with expiration. I find it personally pretty cool. Of course, it doesn't cover every use cases, but still, like, my point is that with the resource API, I think like it's super convenient and you can do plenty of things. Okay, great. There is one more thing that we can do here. In your opinion, when the value is stale, what will happen? Like if I am on the home page, I go to an article, then I come back to the home page, I refetch. What will happen? Will I still see some data, or will I have some loading state? For the loading state, yeah, good, very good, excellent. Why? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And wouldn't it be nice to have, meanwhile, like to avoid having this disrupting loading state, to have like maybe the state data shown and the revalidation of the data done in the background? Thank you. So yeah, and that can be very durable. We just have to play a bit with the resource API. But yeah, so in that really case, so I don't know if it was really clear, but when we are in the case where the data is stale, then we go back on the normal way, which is fetching the data, and then automatically the resource API will clear the data that he has in his memory, and we will have this loading state. So to avoid that, what we want to do is SWR, stale while revalidating, which is like fetching some data in the background, and meanwhile still display the data that we have in cache in the resource API. And for that, it's really easy to do. All that we need to do is, so we have the case cache value, which is good. Else, sorry, we have the case, the value is valid, which is good. Else, what do? Here, we still want to show the old value, right? So we will still return, to avoid the resource API to clear the data, right? We will still return the cache value dot value. So we tell the resource, okay, just display this value. We know it is old, but it's okay, just display it. But then, well, we will not return it first we will. But then we will first trigger a call to revalidate that value in the background, not through the resource API. And then we will update our state, the state, you know, the cache, the signal store that we have. And then when all that is done, we will tell the resource API to reload. So basically, how does it look like? I will just trigger in the background a call, this .fetch data. So I am fetching the data. Even so, I'm not fetching it anymore through the resource API. I'm just fetching it. And then I will, in this fetch data, actually, that's this function that I should revalidate data. So I will fetch the data. Once I have the data, I will patch the store, get back my data, and then I will ask the resource API to reload. And at that moment, since I have caching on the resource API and that I have updated my cache, the resource API will see, okay, I'm in the loader of the resource API will see, okay, I have to reload. Let's see if I have some cache. Yes, I have. So I will get that cache. I know it's a bit abstract like this because I cannot really show you on the demo, and I think I am arriving to the end of the time, right? Sure. I mean, I don't want to be like abusive. But yeah, I find it pretty cool again because it. Sorry. Yeah. Here. On the if. Yeah. Sorry. What was the question? Actually, this is the cache value is the. Oh, yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Cache value. Oh yeah, let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Oh, nice. Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. So great. So I can show you now what is happening here. So I just remove that. Okay, so now if I am changing here, you see I am reloading. I don't know if you're, thank you, you are saving my talk. Thank you very much. Uh, so I don't know if you've seen what's happening, but I just need to wait like 5 seconds, like to for the cache to be stale. Okay, I come back. Here I am reloading, and then I have this loader which is appearing, right? And that's what we don't want. So what we will do is, as I said, we will play with the resource API, and we will, how to say, even if the data is stale, we will return it. But then in the background, we will launch a call to update our state, which will, in the end, update our resource. So how do we do that? Here, I will just call this this function. We validate data, which I wrote. And so this function is calling, is putting the data, then it will patch the store, and then it will ask in order to the resource API, our resource, the cards, to be notified that there was a change. It will just call the function reload. And then when it is reload, the resource API, our resource, it will go in the loader, and in the loader, it will check, okay, do I have cache? Yes. Is it good? Yes, it is good, because we just updated right now. So it will give the value that we want. So normally, now it should be working. Let's try. Let's wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's not working. Okay, so there must be a mistake somewhere. But normally, that should be working properly. Well, I will not linger more, but I hope that at least the concept is clear. Like the whole thing is that playing between the resource API and having a store, and I think things can fit very nicely. Okay, I will not linger much more. I think there are also some cool things that we can do without going more into details. We can do prefetching. We can also do optimistic updates. So for optimistic updates, that's a bit the same idea. Let's see if it is working here. Here, for example, if I add something to my basket, you see I have on purpose a very, very long backend. And the idea of optimistic update, are you familiar with optimistic update? Yes, okay, great. So the idea, just for everybody to be on the same page, is that we are updating the UI optimistically before we have the return from the backend. So that's exactly what is happening here. Pay attention to that that counter. So you see, I don't have the response from the backend, but I updated already the value here. And again, like we can play with that through the resource API and the store that we build. And that's pretty. There is a bit more code because for optimistic update there's always a bit of implementation code, basically because we are redoing a bit of the backend logic in the front. But still, I can show you the at least the overview of it. I hope it's not too long. Like I'm almost done. I have this function on add to basket. And so basically, I am updating my backend. And here I have the optimistic update. And basically, the idea is, okay, I am computing the result that I am expecting from the backend. So that's here. And then I build the state that I am expecting from the backend. So that's here, build updated cards. That's a bit of implementation code. It's not really interesting. But the interesting thing is that it's the flow, right? So I am building the new state, the updated state that I am expecting from the backend. Then I will patch my state, the signal state that I have. And then again, I will call, so this time it's working. I don't know why the other time was not working, but this time it's working. And then I will call, hmm? Oh, maybe. Um, oh, I was calling it actually in this function. Yeah, I was calling it here. Yeah, actually, I am just doing this call, which you mean here? 118. Mm, actually, it should be stored before. Well, let's talk about this later. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't want to linger the schedule, but yeah, I would be curious to have your view on that because there are still some things which are missing, which I am missing on Angular. But again, like I really enjoyed the new API. So yeah, just to finish on the optimistic update, the idea is that, okay, we are computing the state that we are expecting from the backend. Then we are patching the state that we have, right? And then I just call this reload function. And since I have this caching system, I am just like notifying my resource that, okay, there is, please reload. The loader will play. And then in the loader, we will see that, okay, we have an updated cache. Okay, but they just use it. And then it appears like instantaneously. And then I do my call. And once I'm done, like, of course, I have to handle the error. I have to handle a rollback. I haven't done it here, but I would have to handle a rollback if there is an issue. So like getting the previous state again. And then finally, I can just like do a normal call and re-update my resource. I can even like invalidate the cache that I had. Like if I want to make sure that I am still synchronized with the backend, at the end of my update, when everything is done, I can just like say, okay, I am patching, I am invalidating the fake, the optimistic cache that I did by putting any timestamp, like a 0 timestamp, and then reloading the resource API. And when the loader will play, it will see, okay, my cache is invalidated, so I will just like fetch it again. Okay, I will not linger more. Just so to conclude this, again, I want to share my enthusiasm with Resource API. Key takeaways, I really think that there are some cool things to do, like at least for basic caching, basic asynchronous state management. And yeah, so we have seen the caching, prefetching we haven't really seen, but that's on the same idea. Say SWR and optimistic update. And yeah, of course, this is a really basic implementation, but I think like for standard use case, it can be relevant. So I will put all this on my GitHub if you are interested. I did some last minute changes, so I don't want to, because again, I'm not really familiar, so I had like to learn a couple of things. And also I want to wrap all that in a package. So if you are interested, I can share it once it's done, and I hope like some people will use it, maybe. So thank you for your attention, and I hope I was not too long, and I hope it was okay, even so my demo was half working. And yeah, thank you very much.